All right. So, my name is Daniel Beakey. I am the undergraduate coordinator for theater and dance at UC San Diego. A few things I want to point out just at the very beginning. This will be recorded, so we will be able to have the admissions team post this to our YouTube site so we can share it with anyone who's not able to attend today. So, if you have anyone else that you work with or go to school with and is interested in our department, you could definitely share that as much as you would like. And the second thing is, I do have a dog who's kind of, you can't see, but above me, and she might bark. So just a forewarning on that. But let's go ahead and get started. It's great to have you. I wanted to thank admissions for this opportunity because it is a very strange time, but we definitely want you all to learn as much as you can about our department here at UC San Diego. So, we're the Department of Theater and Dance. We offer a number of undergraduate programs, but the main emphasis for theater and dance at UC San Diego is essentially to provide an education that gives you a solid background not only on the literature and history and aesthetics part of performance, but also expose you to the actual production piece of theater and dance as well. We like to think that our program at the end of your 2 or 4 years is a program that will eventually allow you to go out and be a practitioner, be a performer, be a producer, teach, understand the history and the basics of the entire curriculum that we offer through theater and dance in general. And there's a number of ways that we do this. Some is curriculum based, some is production based and having that be a part of our curriculum. And some is just direct work with our faculty, whether that's interning via um, the Old Globe in San Diego or working with the La Jolla Playhouse, which we have a strong connection with. There's a number of ways that we can get you involved in theater and dance, both in the department at UC San Diego, as well as in the surrounding Southern California, and if not the entire country, as it is a small knit community. And we have people who have so many different backgrounds, and we'll talk about that as well, because I think that's very important when it comes to our undergraduate programs. So, we do have a BA in theater. All of our programs are Bachelor of Arts. So, I think that's really important to mention. We do not offer BFAs, we offer BAs. And in the requirements, essentially, and you can find all of this online and we'll make sure that you can have access to it. But there are 10 lower division requirements and 12 upper division requirements in the theater major. And the theater major, the beauty of a BFA is you're going to become very well versed in all aspects of theater. So you're going to understand not only the history behind theater, but you're going to be efficient in play analysis and playwriting, in design, in acting, directing, stage management. It basically covers every single discipline within theater. And then there's electives which allow you to really hone in on one specific part of theater, if that's what you choose. So we have some students who will use their electives to only focus on acting. We have some students who use their electives to take a little bit more of each discipline, but it really is built to build you out to be as well versed in all aspects of theater as possible, because what we're starting to find is when you go into the working profession, most theaters, theater districts, whether that be regional, national, etc., they like to get the most for their money out of someone who can do more than just one thing. As an example, the La Jolla Playhouse, they can put out a casting call for a cast member in a production, and I use this lightly. A million actors can show up, but almost every time they're going to take someone who can fill that cast role, but are also potentially great set designers or great stage managers, someone who is well versed in many aspects so that you fill your cast role, but you're also providing more depth and you're more you produce more for the theater in general. And I think we also have a lot of students who have an idea of what they want to do, at least within theater, whether that be one discipline within theater, or all different areas. But I've had a number of students who have come in very focused on acting, are required to take a class that's more production related, and fall in love with that process a lot more than they initially thought that they would. So that has proved to be very effective, and I think it's something that is useful for our students, especially past graduation. We have a BA in dance. The BA in dance is 9 lower division requirements, 12 upper division requirements. And in our dance program, it's it may change a little bit here and there because our faculty are trying to have small adjustments on the curriculum to just update it and bring it up to times a little bit more. Right now, there's a very heavy focus on contemporary dance, and I think that will remain true for us as a department. But what we're really looking at is how do we diversify all of the other requirements that you take in dance. And so, as well as the BA in theater, it's the same is true for BA in dance. You take courses that cover the history, the theory, the pedagogy of dance in general. And then you move on to the more movement based courses from lower division into upper division. We have courses that span all different types of dance from hip hop, jazz, Latin, West African, ballet, contemporary. It really covers each discipline well. We are going to try to absolutely keep it that way because you are only more benefited by being well versed in all areas of dance. And a lot of our students in dance have a deep interest in the choreography, in the teaching and instruction, as well as the performing. And so this program is a great program. It has amazing faculty, as does the theater side of the house. And it's something that is very hands on, it is very movement based. It is very oriented in small classes where you're getting quality time with your faculty and instructors. And that same opportunity that arises with theater is true in dance with production and all of that being a part of curriculum as a whole. And so dance is something that definitely goes hand in hand with our department. One thing that I don't have an independent slide for because it's a unique situation, it's becoming more common. We do offer a double major in theater and dance. The requirements are slightly different, but pretty much all contained within the same idea of curriculum and production surrounding everything theater and dance. And I have had a number of transfer students who have been able to do it in 2 years. I would say that our most successful double majors are students who do start as freshmen just because it is a lot of work in terms of not only class time, but time spent out of class, whether that be in productions or working on your own independent projects. But that is something that is extremely beneficial for students who have a passion in both areas and it can be fulfilled that way. And between both BAs, the BA in dance, the BA in theater, the option of doing a double major in theater and dance. We also have minors in both. So the theater minor and the dance minor. Both are 2 lower division courses and 5 upper division courses. Now, the minor is definitely geared towards the student who obviously has another major, whether that be theater and dance or whether that be something completely outside of our department. Could be in the STEM field, it could be really any major. And this allows you to really focus in on one interest of yours wholly or taking a little bit of everything, just like the majors. And so, one thing that is very important to mention here, and one class that will be required for you to take, whether you're a major, a double major, or a minor, is a course called Practicum. And due to the large amount of productions that we host or hold as a department every single academic year, we always need student help. And so we have a course, which is again called Practicum, where you receive credit essentially for working as part of the production crew. And so that could be you are making the costumes for a dance or theater performance. It could be you're doing the set design, running the light board, doing sound. It really runs the gamut on what you can be involved in, but it allows you to see theater and dance from the backdoor perspective. So a lot of our students like to be cast or performing, but this allows all students to have that exposure to the production side of the house. And that is great for a resume builder when you leave, that maybe not only were you cast in a number of productions, but you also crewed at a very high level a number of full productions as well. And that is, again, a course that you will be required to take if you're affiliated with our department in any way. And it has proved to be very influential. And it's a great experience to kind of get your foot in the door in terms of what does it look like to work in a high level operating theater and or dance production. Another thing I wanted to cover, when you come to UC San Diego, you definitely are under that assumption that you are coming to a STEM research based institution. And even though we're an arts department at a large public university like UC San Diego, the standards and what we hold our students and our staff and our faculty are exactly the same as they would be for any other department on campus. And what is super unique about our department is all of our faculty are practicing professionals in their areas. So whether that be somebody like Jennifer Chang, who is constantly working as a director or even being cast herself, or you're looking at somebody like Robert Brill, who is almost always doing set design, constantly being nominated and even winning large name awards for that work. Not It's so important to know that the people that you're learning from are people who actually do this day in and day out. And that is so unique to have the opportunity to work with these people and get exposure to their networks. Because, as I'm sure you're aware, if you have interest in theater and dance, it is something that spans all the way from California to New York. And so, building those relationships, having access to those networks, and working with people who are actually doing this for a living alongside teaching, you get to share that knowledge and have exposure to them in ways that is very rare. And so, again, you have faculty who are working and professionally and helping lead and dance and acting, design, directing, performance studies in the PhD area and history, playwriting, and stage management. And so, our faculty as well teach in both the undergrad area and at the graduate level. UCSD Theater and Dance, the graduate program, is consistently ranked in the top 3 to top 5 every single year. And as an undergrad student, that is even beneficial to you because there's that cross pollination of you're learning from the same faculty, you're commonly working on productions with graduate MFA and PhD students and doing that hand in hand. And you're getting exposure to working with the grad students, maybe even at the class level, whether they be your TA, and they're bringing knowledge from all over the country and sometimes all over the world. And that is so awesome to have such a deep understanding and relationship with people in this profession, people seeking work in this profession, and people doing this all over the world. On top of that, you have an amazing department staff. Again, I'm the undergraduate coordinator. So if you found yourself as a major or minor in theater and or dance at the undergraduate level, you and I would work together a lot, whether that's simply looking at classes or just day in, day out things. You have both administrative and production staff. So the administrative staff are the people like me undergrad and graduate coordinators, the people who oversee the production staff. There's a number of people that work in our department just to keep the department running smoothly. We're a small department. We have anywhere from 350 to 400 students in total that are either majoring or minoring in theater and or dance. So it's a tight knit community. We all know each other. We all work very well together. And I have a very open door policy. And that's not something that you usually see at a large public university. And so, although I schedule appointments pre COVID in my office, I literally leave my door open, and most of the time I meet with our students, and that could be you just in between classes and when you have time to check in. Our production staff, some of whom are actually alumni, which is pretty awesome, work hand in hand with the La Jolla Playhouse production staff. But our production staff of about 20, 21 people are well versed in all aspects of costume, set design, whether that be carpentry, backdrop painting. It really just runs the gamut of theater production, are always there. They work throughout the academic year to ensure that all of our productions are done at the highest level possible. And to kind of touch on productions, in any given quarter, we could have anywhere from 3 to 5 department supported productions, that being both theater and dance productions. And on top of that, we also have students who can apply and work on their own independent labs, and even students who, at the tail end of their time with theater and dance, usually in their senior year, have the opportunity to apply to do something called an honors thesis project, which is very restrictive. You have to apply, it's faculty reviewed, but that's something that is a huge resume builder if it's something that you leave with honors from our department, and you've usually at that point done a massive amount of research and possibly even produced in full your own production, and that's supported by the department. So that's pretty awesome as well. So admission into theater and dance, this is a little wordy, but all of this can be found on the Theater and Dance website, as well as the Arts and Humanities, which is the division that theater and dance lives under. And so, as a student applying to the overarching UCSD, you always will apply through admissions as a normal student first. Admissions at UCSD has the official and the final say. And so that's the normal process for all students applying to UCSD. Now, for theater and dance, we're one of three total departments, being theater and dance, music, and visual arts. We run kind of a side submission. It's called Portfolio, and it's run through a slide room where you essentially can upload, whether that be 2 minutes of a monologue or 2 minutes of you in previous productions, or a display of the work you've done as a director or a designer or a stage manager, maybe even in playwriting. But what this does is it's basically supplemental information that we can collect. It's completely optional. It is not required, but we do open this on November 1st. So kind of right at the same time as the normal admission process is open for submissions at UC San Diego. You cannot start the actual slide room supplemental submission until you've completed your application with UC San Diego admissions. But in there, you just submit kind of letter of rec, any information or content you think is useful for our faculty to see. And what we do with that is essentially we give it to the area head for faculty. So each area in theater and dance has a faculty head, and they take a look at what you've submitted. And this is beneficial for us as a department because we get to get a general idea of what we are seeing in the students that we're applying and what we can expect for the upcoming or the incoming class in the following fall. And we do pass along some of our overall review and scoring of the submissions to the admissions office. But again, this is really just a good way to display the work that you've done previously. It is not required, it's completely optional. But ultimately, everything that is reviewed, it comes down to the normal admission process for UC San Diego students who are applying either as freshmen or as transfers. And other than that, if anyone has any questions, I would love to answer them. I think that that's the most beneficial way to get the information that you need. I know I covered a lot very quickly. I like to save time for just kind of questions, answers, and all of my contact information is here, our website as well. By all means, if there's something that you would feel more comfortable talking about via email or privately, we can connect and chat about that. But whatever you have, I'm always available. And as Kristen said, if you have any questions, definitely submit them via the Q&A feature because we all can't hear you or see you. It's kind of a weird one-way interface that we use here. All right, so there's a few rolling in. So the first question, what is the average class size for theater and dance classes? And that's a great question. So being a small department, I can tell you that the largest class that we offer and is a class that is used as a requirement in a major or minor very rarely exceeds 20 to 25 people. And when you are taking classes in theater and or dance, the lower division classes are usually a little bit bigger because you can have students who are taking those classes for general education requirements. But as a major or as a minor in the department, the further or the higher classes you're taking during your time here, so once you're a sophomore and a junior and even a senior, your class sizes get smaller. So looking at acting classes, you could be in a advanced upper division acting class, and there could be 8 of you with a faculty member. Same thing goes for dance. So they're always very small and very open to that connection with the faculty member. And our faculty are also very receptive to opening up graduate level classes to undergraduate students. They don't do it all the time. They don't do it for everybody. They definitely do it on a case by case basis. But if there's that drive and that passion that you have for one area of theater and or dance, and you have that connection with the instructor, it is definitely possible to get your foot in the door and take a few graduate level courses as well. Another one, how can I best combine my passions for theater and drama therapy? And so that's actually something we're starting to see a lot more of. A lot of our students in theater and dance are starting to double major in something outside of our department as well. Um, Dance, I have a lot of students who are majoring in dance and majoring in education and kind of looking at it at the instructor point of view. I have one student right now who's working with the dance faculty who's actually interested in the therapy side of theater and performance, or for them, dance and performance. So it's something that's being done. I think it's something that's kind of a new discussion at a higher level, in that it's something, if you were to come to UCSD, that we could definitely find a way to take theater and drama and performance, tie that in with therapy, whether that be something we do strictly in our department or something that we work with another department on campus. I think that that is absolutely a possibility. I haven't seen it all the way through, so I can't say that I have a perfect answer for that question. But I do want you to know that it's something that other students are looking at and are interested in. So it's definitely something that you can pursue. But we kind of will be blazing that path together. let's see. So for the minor, the question is, as a transfer student, um, I would like to minor in dance. How would I declare a minor at UCSD? So when it comes to minoring, that is not going to happen necessarily until you're like an admitted registered student. So you will go through the normal process of applying for admission to UC San Diego under the major that you're interested in. And then once you're actually a UCSD student, the process of declaring a minor is super easy. I like to meet with students who are interested in minoring, but it's all online, and you just basically show your intent and your desire to minor. We go and make sure that you understand the requirements. And once that's approved by the department, which usually is me, it becomes official and you can start working towards those classes. So that is something that will definitely take place on the tail end of being admitted and actually starting to attend UCSD. Okay, how many freshmen are generally admitted to the dance program each year? Um, as a whole, we keep pretty steady numbers. So I would say on average every year as a department, so not speaking just to dance, but speaking to theater and dance, we graduate anywhere from about 50 to 70 students each spring. And then on the flip side of that, we usually average about the same when we're bringing in new students. And so, pretty consistently, the last few years, we have brought in a freshman class of about 60. And most of the time, the dance side of it is anywhere from 15 to 20 students at the most. So our dance program is definitely smaller in numbers than our theater program, but we're starting to see, and I say I'm starting to see because I'm kind of the one who interfaces with that the most. Definitely an increase in students admitted into the dance program or declaring dance as a new major or second major once they're actually students at UC San Diego. So that program is building. And last year, I would say, is definitely the biggest incoming class that we brought in of about 17 students. But that's freshmen and transfers. Does either program offer a senior showcase or an equivalent performance for graduating students? So the answer for that is yes. Um, what we do right now at the undergraduate level, um, both theater and dance, is the senior showcase is mainly student run. So my first year in the department, the students actually, the seniors in the theater side of the house, wanted to put on their senior showcase. They actually did fundraising and were able to hire a professional director out of LA who oversaw the whole process with them. We always have a faculty member who is kind of the oversight of the senior showcase, but most of it is run by the actual students participating in the senior showcase. So whether that be selecting what they're going to be doing for the showcase, all the way through to either hiring the director or directing themselves, and allowing like students who are generally interested in directing and stage management and design kind of all play into that along with the cast or performers. And the theater students have definitely been very engaged in this. The dance students are planning on doing kind of their first full-fledged senior showcase this academic year. So that was very exciting. And then what we do with that is we essentially pull that, we put it out as much as we can via social media and announcements and through our faculty connections to get an attendance there. So whether that be casting directors, performers, and actors and actresses, basically we try to get as big of an audience to come and watch our seniors essentially who are graduating do a performance and follow through on that And it has led to amazing opportunities. And like I said in the past, with our intermingling between the undergraduate and the graduate programs, you can get exposure so many different ways. Even for our productions that are considered graduate productions, there are still undergrads involved in that in almost every way. And that is super unique because you could end up getting unintended exposure to theater or dance professionals who may have been there for the graduate students, but you're getting that exposure as an undergraduate who's on stage, who's working production or crew, and that is useful as well because ultimately in theater and in dance, um, obviously your drive and your passion pays in big dividends, but it's definitely an area to in what is your ability to network and get exposure. And so yes, absolutely, senior showcases are very important, and we love to let the students run with it and make it exactly what they want it to be. Is there anything else anybody has? All right, great. Well, I really appreciate everybody being here today. And definitely, we will put this out for anyone who was not able to attend. And if anyone has any questions, please, by all means, reach out to me. Go to our website, look around, and then whatever comes up, reach out. I can always help in any way that is possible. And we really appreciate, again, admissions for hosting this and allowing this to be possible, especially in the world we're currently living in. So thanks again. I hope everybody can take care.